Welcome to the channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more exciting stories from Reddit. Story 1. Walked in on wife and affair partner while kids sleep upstairs. For the past several weeks I have been working late nights in the office so I can finish work early so I can have breakfast with the kids and do the school runs. Tonight the boss let me finish halfway though my shift due to the amount of work I have put in on a project that now completed. On the drive home I was looking forward to us time with the little ones in bed. Well, I walked into my wife fucking some bloke on the sofa. Deer in headlight moment. I grabbed my keys and now I am in the office wondering what the hell I am going to do now. My phone is blowing up with calls and texts from my wife telling me to come back so she can explain. I just can't. I am so pissed off right now. Never thought she would cheat on me. We have been happily married for over a decade. Sure, we have had our arguments over the years, but what married couple hasn't? Given her everything she asked for along 3 beautiful kids. Advice needed please. I am at a loss of what to do. Update 1. Although it's only been 9 days since I posted about catching my wife having sex with a affair partner on the sofa, I know a lot of you have asked to be kept updated. Before I update you, I would like to thank you all for your advice and support. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to respond to your comments due to the shit show that is currently happening until now. Well, as you can imagine, the shit has now hit the fan. I have no idea where to start. Well, I am currently off work and will be until I am ready to go back. A few of you asked why I didn't smash the guy's face in, is mainly because if I got arrested then social services would have got involved in a divorce that would be used against me. I took your advice to get all bank accounts in order and removed my wife from the kids' trust funds in my own account straight away in case she tried to empty them. She has her own account for her money she earns from work. Well, she did indeed try to empty all of them 2 days after my visit. FYI, I have already paid the bills for the house and cars days before this crap show happened. I have been the doctors to be checked for STIs literally days after I posted and have been given the all clear. Followed by a long meeting with a team of divorce lawyers to find out what is to happen next. Being a computer technician, I have remote access to my home computer and secondary laptop that the kids use for schoolwork and well have found that my dear wife has left herself locked into the book of face and well stumbled across message app and message to her affair partner. Photos, sexting, paid bills for hotels and meet-up arrangements, etc. Turns out this affair has been going on for 7 years now. Her affair partner is her best friend's little brother and she has been fucking with him since he was 19. All this has been given to the lawyers as there is no going back now. I have to wait for a few months to start the process as there is currently a bad log due to the pandemic. Also, all trust in her has been completely destroyed that no amount couple counseling will save this marriage. I returned home 4 days ago, packed her bags and kicked her cheating arse out. The kids are with me and after a difficult conversation with all 3 of them, they now fully aware that mummy is not coming back, but also they can all still see her. While I am angry with her, I won't be that parent that holds the kids to ransom. My in-laws and family are fully aware of what's their daughter, sister has done. Her relationship with her family is now strained. Her bestie slated me on FB about walking out on her and the kids and well, my BIL posted the link to Reddit on FB so now everyone knows and the post was taken down. As for my wife, I haven't spoken one word to her since that night and all communication will be thought the lawyers now. I have text messages from her basically saying that she is going to ruin me in court, say shit like I was controlling, abusive, etc. The lawyers have all copies. I have deleted Facebook due to her small circle of friends send vile messages for ruining her life. I am currently awaiting on results of the paternity test to see if the kids are mine. The affair partner demanded to be tested in case the younger 2 are his. But for now they are with me as my wife is living with affair partner. Update 2. After 2 tests, first was due to a contamination issue. I received the results 2 weeks ago and well, I have gone from having 3 kids to 1 biological child, the eldest. In those 2 weeks my ex's affair partner parents managed to get emergency custody of the younger 2 due to the fact I am not a blood relative. I tried so hard to fight for them in court. I am trying to be strong for my son but the rug has been fully pulled from under our feet. I have put the house on the market to sell and currently renting a small 2-bedroom apartment because I can't live there anymore. Everything reminds me of the kids. Both my son and I are currently in therapy together. He is working through trust issues with his mother and not seeing his siblings every day has taken its toll. Story 2. My wife cheating on our 10-year anniversary. TLDR, yesterday was our 10-year anniversary. Brought flowers to wife's office. Found some guy nuzzling her neck and her giggling. Yup. TL, doctor says it all. My, 35M, wife, 35F, and I were married 10 years ago yesterday. She has been working on a big project for the last few months. The last 4 weeks or so she has been putting in extra time, staying late going in early, to finish up by deadline. This is a career maker for her. I work construction. With the rain we have crazy hours trying to make up time that we missed. So I work 12 HRS on the days it's nice, sometimes a little longer. If it's raining when I get up I don't go in. Some days we get sent home when it starts, too dangerous. I usually hit the gym for an hour or two. Thursday we started at 6 a.m. mid-morning starts to rain hard. We go home. I go to the gym as usual. I cut the workout short and head downtown to see wife Mergen, to give her flowers and make plans for dinner that night if possible. We really haven't seen much of each other this week. I went to bed about 9 p.m. She wasn't home, called earlier me she is working late. Not unusual for past month. I stopped and got some flowers and went into her building about 12:30. Nicole was at the receptionist desk. I told her I got here later than I wanted, could she put the flowers on Mergen's desk? She said, I don't think they went to lunch yet, why not drop them off yourself? She buzzed the door to get back to the offices. The place was deserted. I went to her office, the door was closed. I always walk in unless the receptionist tells me she is in a meeting. I walk in, some guy is standing behind her nuzzling her neck, she is reaching back over his head. She is giggling only as she can. Saying, we got to get this done. I am gut punched. I slammed the flowers down, said, happy anniversary, and walked out. I didn't hear what she said, just went past Nicole, said goodbye and left. Made it to elevators and out the building, then my phone started ringing. I bawled my eyes out all the way home. Went into garage, pulled my camping gear out of the rafters and took off. I drove about 2 hours to a state park. I had no idea what to do. I just had to run. I hiked a trail we have been on in the past, about a 3-hour hike. I don't drink much so I had no booze, I just sat there thinking. Looking back I am glad I was in a rush, normally I bring a 45 calories. With me camping, we have black bears, which generally scare off, but get aggressive if hungry or cubs around. The way I was feeling I might have ate the barrel that night. My phone was blowing up from Mergen so I had turned it off. I left the park to get reception, turned it on to see my good friend called. I called him back. He said Megan called him to check on me, make sure I didn't do anything stupid. We talked a bit, told him I got to think this through, would catch up on Friday. So while I am thinking about this, I go over our marriage from the beginning to see what I missed. We come from completely opposite backgrounds. My grandfather raised me with my mom. He taught me about life. He had a little saying about everything. He told me marriage would be the hardest jobs I ever had, you had to work on it every day. God, I miss him. We did not have much, heard mom and grandpa having many discussions about bills. They worked hard and my brother and I did not miss out on anything we knew of. Mergen was born into money. Not overly rich but very comfortable. Went to a great college, always great clothes, new car etc. And she is beautiful, 11/10 beautiful. I would joke with her if she coughed about the silver spoon getting stuck in her throat. We met, hit off, started dating. I was dumbfounded how such a woman would ever be with me. We dated quite a while before she told me about her parents and lifestyle. Our friends called us the model couple, because they thought we were so good looking we had to be models. Families were not as kind, afraid of the differences economically would come into play. Her dad and I started to get along but my mom took some convincing. She graduates, gets her first job, we plan on getting married. We work out between us that we would expose each other to our lives that we live. I took her whitewater rafting, she took me to the symphony, we went ziplining, we went to an art opening etc. We agreed we had to experience the other's interests. She was really enthused about the more physical things we did. I kinda like the symphony and such. I own 2 tuxes now. I look back and do not see any red flags. Her first 2 jobs she quit because the men all tried to get in her pants. She was paraded out in front for photo ops. Invited to conferences when other newbies were not. At dinner at a conference a partner tried to get her drunk, then tried to force himself into her room that night. She quit, the next job the same thing, quit again. This 3rd job has women as some of the partners and none of that BS is in her workplace. She seems very happy. We seemed very happy. So now, Friday, I am home. I called her. Asked where she was, back at work. I, being in a smart-ass mood, said that the marriage is taking second place to her job. She responded, since I would not talk, what was she to do? Fair enough. She will be home in an hour. So I wait. I want to save our marriage. If I am lacking in providing, then I want to fix it. I want to ask why, of course, but I cannot accept a I don't know answer. How do I phrase this? What else should I be asking? I know I will get all emotional and forget everything, so over the next few days we will be going over and over this. What she did is wrong, but please no degrading comments, she is still my wife. Thank you in advance. Update. TL, doctor talked throughout the night and today. Finally got to the why. She answered all questions. Okay, here is an update from last couple days. I am exhausted, sorry for the bad form that is about to happen. Wife and I had a marathon talking session on Friday into late night. I started by asking that she be honest in all answers and be complete. Do not tell me half-truths that have to be asked several different ways to get a complete answer. She agreed. I started with why. Answer: I don't know. Kinda of what was expected. We went round and round on this. Finally I said, how many times did you have sex? Started to dodge, but when I let out a sigh and shook my head, she said 6 or 7 times. That started things rolling. I kept my cool. How long? Last 3 weeks. Back to why? Could not give an answer. Do you still love me? Yes. Saying it because we are done trying save marriage. No, with some conviction. Do you find me attractive? Yes. Why? Still can't answer. Am I not giving you something you are looking for? Here she hesitated but quickly recovered. I knew I was onto something. Could not crack the nut though. Finally, about midnight, I was tired, she was tired. I said, Mergen, you are an intelligent woman. I cannot believe you cannot articulate the why I am asking about. She started crying, saying she is trying to answer my questions. I said, okay, enough for tonight, time for bed. She starts to walk toward the door. I asked where she was going. To my parents' house. I told her that, this is our house, I am not asking you to leave. She stopped crying at that point. I said, we are not divorced or separated. That may come, but for now we need to be together until we sort this out. We actually slept in the same bed, not sex in case you are going to ask. I am up almost most of the night. I am reading some of the comments and DM. Had some great comments and back and forth with a few people. One told me that women generally marry up in social status we were unusual, maybe second thoughts. One suggested that maybe I was right, that I was not fulfilling something for her. But one told me that there was a post a few days ago describing this scenario, but from the women's view, asking what she should do. He could not find it on the subs. He looked at r/surviving infidelity and r/infidelity. So I pulled up Reddit, put in Mergen's account, looked at her history. Bingo. She was the one who posted. So this morning, bright ABD early, we start again. I start out why. Same answer. We go round and round, she getting annoyed. Then I say, did this guy challenge you intellectually? The look on her face was priceless. You read my post. For the masses, she described how she caught the feeling, when they first kiss, make out session in hotel, she left. Next morning after I left for work, she hightailed it over to hotel to put an end to it, then had sex. It continued at least up to her posting. I am sure a couple days later I discover them. She also was weighing on whether to leave, then says this is moving way too fast, she needs to separate from this guy. So I present this to her that she thinks I am a dumb hick. No, she was attracted to him because this project they are on is his idea. She feels she is getting passed by and needs to up her game. The stimulation from this led to the attraction and the rest. Now I don't know. I know her, she was sincere. Now the floodgates open, we have a great dialogue through the issue. Mid-afternoon she wants a break. She leaves to her parents. So I am writing this update, knock on the door. Okay, gotta see, I am really tired now. There stands Mergen's mom. I tell her Mergen is on the way to their house. She knows she wants to talk to me. She has never been to our house by herself. She has never that I remember talked to me privately. She says she is not here to sway me in any way, she would accept any decision I make. But she wants to tell me her story. She was married once before Mergen's dad, I knew that. The man she married was the love of her life. Didn't have much. She met now husband, they caught some feelings. Before they cheated, she told first husband they were done, divorced. Married new guy, he had some money but was an up and coming exec. Couple years go by not happy, made a mistake. Old husband moved on, is married. She gets pregnant. Has Mergen goes into depression, was actually institutionalized. 2 years later pregnant with brother, repeat cycle, couple years later sister is born, repeat. No more kids, she is fixed. Everyone thought it was postpartum depression, I guess it was, but it mirrored her ex also expanding his family. To this day she knows where he lives, his kids' names, etc. She has never gotten over leaving the love of her life. She sees how I am with Megan. She sees she is my love. She saw it when she quit her first job, how I took care of her. She got up and left saying nothing else. This is really long, I know. Please mods, stay with me. Couple things to clean up. Much talk about Mergen's first 2 jobs. None of you were there when she got off that plane and collapsed into my arms. We weren't married yet. Harassment is real. Report it to who? The guy owned the company. She did right and quit. The second job was more of the same. She left as soon as she felt uncomfortable. So foo to all those bad-mouthing her actions. Next up, I asked for civility in treating Mergen. There were some that just showed their ass and spoke out anyway. I asked for advice but put down, called names. Someone said the kind Reddit community has offered great advice. I call BS. They for the most part offered insults, bad language, very little insight. Thank you to the kind people who DM you, were the best. Those that shared their stories, I appreciate you and hope your journey from here is a smooth one. Want to know about Nicole? Nope. Want to know to what the future holds? Nope. Oh, and her post will be removed. Story 3. We had a perfect life and my wife cheated. I married my best friend last year. We've been together for 8 years, and it's been the most amazing and fulfilling relationship I've ever had. We had the perfect life. We have the cutest little puppy, and she's the most loyal and loving little creature I've ever met. We've been saving for a house in our dream city, and we were just about ready to pull the trigger this year. We were planning to adopt afterwards. We finally paid off all our student loans. We have amazing friends and hobbies that we're both passionate about. We did everything together, dates multiple times a week, every weekend for sure, and usually a few during the week as well, road trips and vacations and events. We stayed up late every night cuddling and talking about our future together. We have a million little inside jokes and we sent flirty texts to each other all day. We had an amazing sex life, every one of our fantasies, every day, often multiple times a day. We made it through graduate school and the pandemic and all sorts of other tumultuous life events together. I work from home, and I took care of all the house chores so she didn't have to. I took care of the dog, I did the training and the walking and the feeding so that she wouldn't have that extra stress. I make 4x her salary so that she can work her dream job, which doesn't, by itself, make enough to pay rent etc. since we're in NYC. I've never complained about any of this, and being able to do all these things for her always made me so proud and happy, so that she could fulfill her own professional dreams. And she still cheated on me. She cheated with a co-worker she's only known for a few months, who is way younger than her, and who is her subordinate at work. I told her I would be willing to work through it in therapy together, that I could forgive her because our life was so amazing. And she told me she was so sorry and would do anything to make things right, that she had never meant to hurt me. But I found out last week that she is still cheating on me with him. And when I confronted her, she became unrecognizable. She was verbally abusive, and yelled at me, and told me that she had never loved me or our puppy. She told me that she had just been using me all along and now that she'd found someone else, she didn't need me anymore, and that she didn't feel any remorse or guilt and had only pretended to apologize when she got caught the first time so that she could keep using me for money. I should be angry, but I just feel so sorry for her. I'm still going to have an amazing life. I took our dog, my dog now I guess, and moved out. I'm still going to be buying that house, alone now. All my friends also are friends, and even her friends have been so supportive. Even her family has been so supportive of me. She's losing a lot of friends. She's losing me, her best friend, at the very least. She might lose her job. She can't afford rent where she's living either way. She always liked expensive shows and clothes and hobbies and going out to eat, and now she can't have any of that. It just doesn't make any sense to me, but she doesn't return my calls anymore, so I guess this is it. I'll never understand what happened or why she gave up on our life together out of nowhere like this. Update. I was completely overwhelmed by the response to my original post, and was so busy dealing with the fallout, emotional and otherwise, of my soon to be ex-wife's Afair to respond to everyone's messages. So a quick apology to anyone's DM I didn't respond to. I've never gotten hundreds of messages before on any platform, but I did see them and they did help me feel less crazy, so thank you everyone. As many of you predicted, she tried to come back. Multiple times in fact. The last 2 months have been insane in a lot of ways for me. I encouraged her to see a therapist, and she was diagnosed with a personality disorder. She didn't tell me the specifics, but my own therapist suspects borderline personality disorder, for what it's worth. I still love and care about her so much that every time she called me sobbing telling me she hadn't meant it and would do anything to make things right again, I fell for it and told her I would help any way I could. In retrospect it was so bizarre and entrancing, seeing these glimpses of the person I used to know, reaching back out to me in such obvious pain. And so every time she told me, stone-faced, a few days after apologizing, that she hadn't meant the apology and had only said it to manipulate me, and had faked the tears, it hurt so much more, having just seen these glimpses of the wonderful person I knew for 8 years. I got so lost in trying to help her during these isolated moments of normalcy that I lost track of how many times she abruptly switched her entire attitude towards me. It was only recently that I went back and counted. 15 times that she switched between telling me that she loves me and had learned from her mistake and couldn't wait to hold me again, and telling me that she had no regrets, had never loved me, and that she had only ever been manipulating me. At one point during one of her days of normalcy she told me that, when she thought back on how she had treated me, she felt like she had been kidnapped by aliens and replaced with a body double, like she had been watching an evil version of herself destroy my life while she watched helpless from space. And then when I called her a few days later and she started yelling at me for not being good enough and telling me that she was busy with her affair partner, who she had sworn she was done with just 2 days before, I reminded her of her alien story. She told me that she didn't remember telling me that she would never say something so dumb, but if she had, it would have only been to manipulate me. I've never been a victim of abuse before this, so it took me a lot longer than I'd like to admit to realize what she was doing to me. I always thought when I saw other people being treated so poorly, wow, I would never let that happen to me. But when I was actually in that situation, all I could think of was how I could help her. I always try to see the best in people, and as far as I know this is the first time someone who is close enough to me to know that has purposefully taken advantage of it to keep hurting me with no intention of stopping. It still feels so strange, like I hallucinated the last 8 years of my life. But I filed for divorce this week. I didn't respond to her last call. I know exactly how it would have gone, the apologies, swearing she would make things better, that she loves me so much. And then a few days later, the shouting and the abuse and telling me that I wasn't good enough for her and that she had never loved me. Also, in some DMs people mentioned something about hearing about my original post from my TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, so I guess someone is impersonating my throwaway account, which is strange. Just a heads up, if anyone is personally invested in my story at all, this is the only place online that I'm writing about it, any other accounts are not me. Edit. Also a quick update for all the kind people wondering how I'm doing personally. I've been having a blast going on adventures with my dog. My friends have all been taking turns reaching out every day. My family has been amazingly supportive. My manager told me to take a month off work to sort myself out and it was super refreshing. Being back at work afterwards has been great. My co-workers have been hyping me up and checking in with me at lunch. I was able to get back to some old hobbies I'd dropped because of the pandemic, and made some new friends there. It's been good. I'm good.